Another video preparing for 2026. Do you ever wonder why some day traders quit after a few bad trades while others turn a few dollars into a six-figure funded account? It's not luck, it's math, mindset, and a little bit of strategy. All right, let's get into what I think is going to be a little bit more mindset in this video, because it is so important to have good mindset. Cost of living mismatch. Where are you living and how are you living? Two big important points to consider. If you're in the Philippines, then maybe you're spending a total of $1,500 per month. If you're in California, maybe that's $5,000 per month for basic living. Also, we need to consider how you're living. What kind of a car are you driving? How often are you going out? How often are you going out to eat, to party, to entertain yourself? All of these things are super important. So, if you're in the Philippines living for, well, you can even live for less than that. It could be as low as $800 per month if you really skimp. And then that would give you a big gap between what you can spend on trading, and which shouldn't be that much once you get established, and then what you need to take care of in terms of basic essentials. If you're in California, we'll just work two opposite ends, and you're living in a $2,500 condo, $2,500 a month, and then you're spending $1,500 a month on food and $500 a month on entertainment, etc. You have all these expenses. You're going to be under pressure if you don't have any other form of regular income. This is a huge problem. Our brain, our ego, wants to get out of the gate more quickly, and it also wants to have what you might call a social norm of living, where you see other people who are working 100 or a 200K per year gig on W-2, and so they can do all these things. They can eat out, they can party, they can have a nice car, they can waste money. Meanwhile, you say that you're not working, and you then should not be doing these things, because your job is to build a business. Build your business. And when you're building your business, you may need to sleep on the floor. You may need to have minimal accommodations. You may need to be putting all of your resources into the business. It's not the time to be spending $5 a day at Starbucks. Not important. So this is one big thing that people miss, is the cost of living, and that is where you live and how you live. So yeah, you can do it very inexpensively in the Philippines. It's not going to be as easy in California. I actually did it in my RV. I quit paying rent so that I could build my trading business, and I kept a very low profile. Risk management beats ambition. I'll say it again. Risk management beats ambition. All right, so you've determined your expense level, your inflow and your outflow. That means that you need to have enough cash to survive, not on just top ramen, that's too low. and that you're going to purchase a $35, $300,000 account from a prop firm. Now, the prop firm that I use, that I got started with, only charges $35 when they have a sale for a $300,000 account. You can't beat that. That is mind-blowing. So if you can't afford $35 a month to start trading $300,000 prop account, then something's wrong with your brain. So I suggest that you target the prop firm, get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of these accounts and start stacking. Start stacking and treat these accounts with white kid gloves. Trade small. All right? Let your risk management overrule every other emotion that you have in your head. Your professional risk management is number one. Because what will mess you up in your accounts is what? Your ego. This thing right here is what you need to control. It's not difficult. In other videos I've got, I go over the trading plan. The trading plan is the simplest part of this whole dynamic. The most difficult part is your brain, period. It's your brain. So now that we've identified your living expenses, we have to tackle risk management. And that is going to be your next number one thing that you will care for with kid gloves. So on a $300,000 account, even if you're only making $200 a day, which I would challenge anybody to do, anybody, you give me a $300,000 account and I will produce $200 every freaking day, day after day after day after day. And then the sky is the limit. Okay, so number one, we've identified our inflow and outflow. Number two, we've identified where to start and how much that account will cost per month. So we've got absolute minimal expenses. All right, so let's do the math. You're probably thinking, why a $300,000 account? Wouldn't it be easier to trade a $25,000 or a $50,000 account? Well, possibly. You're shooting yourself in the foot because you're not looking at the bigger picture of how you earn money with a prop account. So if you think small, your rewards are going to be small. Why would I purchase a small account when I can get a $300,000 account for $35 per month? I mean, really, come on. So on a $300,000, there are rules and regulations on a prop account. It's not like having cash. So if I take a $300,000 account times 0.1, that's going to be $300 per day on one account at 0.1. Okay. So if I have two accounts, it's $600 a day. Now let's go back to what our monthly expenses are when we're starting. And I don't know what income you've got, but if the ratio from your income and expenses is relatively flat, then you can afford $35 a month to get started. That's one account. That one account will bring you at 0.1%, 0.1% is $300 per day on one account. You know, the trading plan is separate from this analysis. Okay. So $300 a day on a $300,000 account, 0.1%, I'm reiterating this again, is very, very, very doable. So if you had a cash account, that would be 1% that you're shooting for. Do the math. 1% will be $3,000 a day on that one account. So it's two different things that you need to look at. All right. So if I have 2 accounts, that's $600 per day. 3 accounts is $900. 4 accounts, $1,200. 5 account, keep doing the math. So when we get all the way to a maximum leverage of 20 accounts, right? That's going to be 20 times 300 is $6,000 a day. The math is very simple. Do not mess around with 25,000, 50,000, or the lower level accounts. It's a waste of time. Please, please, I'm begging you, do not mess around with these small accounts. They're a total waste of time. Start with one $300,000 account. You will thank me in the end. It's much, much simpler when you're not greedy and you handle the account with kid gloves. So to cap these first few points, I challenge you, let's call it the Kaivalya Consistency Challenge. I challenge you guys to take one $300,000 account. Now we're coming up January. This is November 2026. We're coming up to January 1st, where accounts will only be $35. Take one account or 2 accounts or 3 accounts, whatever you can consistently pay for each month based on your expenses and your income and your expenses, and let's start with that one account and do something really simple. Trade micros on a $300,000 account and shoot for $50 a day on that account. Something extremely simple, extremely low end, and develop a consistency for 20 trading days of 100% wins, 97% or better, making $50 a day on that account. Do it for 20 trading days. Then modify that to say the second month, say $70 an account, and slowly increase only as your consistency and your trading percentage increases. Remembering that one bad trade day can ruin the whole thing. So do not over leverage, right? Okay, so $50 the first month, $70. I mentioned $300, but some of you aren't there because you keep blowing accounts. So if you keep blowing accounts, you're going to have to put yourself in the doghouse. You ever been in the doghouse? So maybe put yourself in the doghouse. Take your brain and pull it outside and be viewing yourself from a distance as an account manager. So as an independent account manager, you should be telling yourself, oh, you're in the doghouse because you got greedy. So we'll work it back to $50 a day. Now, some of you will be saying, oh, I can't do that because that's going to take me forever. Well, what's better, blowing an account or being consistent? Remember what I said previously, account management, being an account manager, being a professional account manager is more important to develop consistency than anything else. If you go to Goldman Sachs and say, hey, I'm a great trader, I made all this money, and I want to work for you guys because I want to trade millions of dollars. They're going to look at your track record of making 100,000 and blowing it, and then 100,000 and blowing it, and 100,000 again and blowing, and they're going to go, get out. They're not going to hire you, okay? They are not going to hire you. You need to show a consistent track record. With Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan or whatever, if you're making consistently over 1% per day, they'll put you in a corner office with a gold seat. They will love you. But a majority of you aren't doing that. You're not consistent. So drop it down a level and start to get consistent. All right. Okay, so this is today's challenge, the Kaivalya Consistency Challenge. Can you pick a number based on your current level of intelligence? $50, $75, $100, I don't care what the number is, but it needs to be a number that you can produce profits every single day. Now, if there's a small range, say it's 50 and you keep targeting between 50 and 70, great. But don't do 50 one day and then 800 the next. That's very inconsistent. Yeah, so maybe it was a good market and maybe you got lucky, but you need to pick a number and have better consistency. Okay, so the Kaivalya Consistency Challenge. Where do we start? Okay, I've got a link down below. You can click on it. I've got a simple course for $97. Join the course, get some mentoring, get started. Don't delay. This business is incredible. I'm telling you guys, it's only a matter of controlling the monkey mind to get you to $1,000 and $2,000 and $3,000 per day. It's not difficult. It is very straightforward, and again, it's a matter of controlling the monkey mind. I don't know how many times I got to say it, but I feel like I need to say it 1,000 times because it's the biggest issue that's plaguing traders, is the ego. But if you want support and you enjoyed the video, connect and we'll talk soon. We'll see you on the next video. Mahalo.